we believe that our portfolios will more than triple over the next 5 years.
Cathie Wood's rise to fame with Ark Invest is considered extremely quick. In 2020, she rose to the spotlight after her bullish stance on Tesla gained traction, and the Ark ETFs rose well over 150% in 1 year. Tesla, Square, Roku, Teladoc, and Coinbase, which are top holdings in her portfolio, are all down over 25%, and some are down even more than that. Ark Invest's 5 famous active ETFs, which are ARKK, ARKW, ARKQ, ARKF, and ARKG, are all also simultaneously down substantially. After this downwards movement, many have begun to question whether Cathie Wood's investing style can be successful over the test of time. Critics of Cathie have also garnered attention lately, as they have the confirmation bias of Ark Invest funds being down significantly year to date. However, while some are doubting Ark Invest, Cathie Wood believes that Ark is about to undergo a massive comeback and that we are close to the bottom. In this video, I will cover why Cathie believes that Ark Invest funds are about to explode over the next few months and generate a 3x return over the next 5 years. Welcome to Kaz Games Academy. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content like this, and let's get right into it. Some of you might think that Cathie promoting Ark Invest funds is nothing new, as she is the CEO and CIO of Ark Invest. However, those that followed Cathie over the past few months would know that she warned about an upcoming correction multiple times before it actually happened. Here on this channel, I covered those warnings.
I'm sure we're going to go through a doozy of a correction this year. Well, I do believe if rates were to take a sharp turn up, that we would see a valuation reset, and our portfolios would be prime candidates for that valuation reset, of course.
Since these warnings from Cathie, growth stocks have all faced exactly the correction that she was talking about. Cathie Wood recently gave the opposite of these signals, which is that a bull run for growth stocks is coming. Cathie isn't a prophet, but she's been right many times, and she also has decades of experience, as she beat the S&P 500 every year from the beginning of 2001 to the end of 2010. Not only that, but her long-term success at Ark Invest solidifies her reputation in the financial space. Most recently, she went on Bloomberg to explain how we are on the brink of a bull run in growth stocks and cryptocurrencies.
You can never say when we've hit bottom. I mean, I can tell you that the valuations in our portfolios would suggest that over the next 5 years, again, if our research is correct, no promises, we believe that our portfolios will more than triple over the next 5 years. So that's more than a 25% compound annual rate of return over the next 5 years. Actually, it's approaching 30 after today.
Basically, all investors know that the goal of investing in the stock market is to buy low and sell high. However, while in theory everyone knows this, most investors don't follow it. This is because when everyone is bullish, that's usually when the stock market falls, and when everyone is bearish, that's usually when the stock market goes up. In order to succeed with timing the market, most of the time you have to do the opposite of what everyone thinks. Back in March of 2020, most investors thought the world was doomed and that the market was going to continue to collapse. In hindsight, those investors, or should I say most investors, missed out on one of the greatest buying opportunities. According to Cathie Wood's indicators, we are now in the capitulation phase for both growth stocks and cryptocurrencies. Right now, many investors are panicking, and some are actually selling their stocks and cryptos in anticipation of a crash. This is usually the time where we should be buying stocks. As Buffett says, we should be greedy when others are fearful.
We were looking at all the indicators this morning. They are all suggesting that we are in the capitulation phase, which is a really great time to buy, no matter what the asset is. A capitulation phase is buy, it's on sale.
The overall market hasn't gone down much lately, as value stocks have been on the rise over the past few months. That is exactly what Cathie wants. The bull market is broadening out, and when this happens, it serves as a launching pad for growth stocks to explode in the future. This is because Cathie thinks that commodities like lumber, copper, and nickel are going to crash as orders from companies get cancelled. Not only that, but she also thinks that the supply of commodities is increasing dramatically in anticipation of high demand, which will lead the price of commodities to level down. According to her, this will create deflation and set up growth stocks to increase once again. Cathie has 5-year price targets on all the stocks she owns, and those price targets have only gone up in the past few months. The price of stocks does not always accurately reflect a business's performance. Over the past few months, the price of growth stocks has fallen while earnings have remained strong.
What has happened is our price targets for the next 5 years, that's our investment time horizon, have not changed, right?
Not at all. Yeah.
In fact, some of them have gone up as quarterly results have come out. Now, they're not going to change that much because that one quarter's result is not going to change a 5-year price target by that much. But the forces that the coronavirus put in motion, supporting all of the innovation that in which we invest, they are not looking back. And so what we are seeing is a 30 to 40% discount to peak prices in February for the same price targets. So we're looking at this saying, all right, on sale, innovation is on sale. And oh, by the way, the bull market has broadened out. It is now embracing value and more cyclical stocks. So what has happened is the bull market has broadened, has strengthened, and that is usually a launching pad for our next move up.
Cathie also detailed this drastic movement in an article released on Ark Invest's website, where she explained how the current rotation is opening up for a huge investment opportunity. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt over the past few months have given us investors a great opportunity to average down. Because plenty of investors were rotating into value stocks, many growth companies were hit hard and are now readily available for a 30 to 40% discount, despite the fact that nothing fundamentally changed about the businesses and their outlooks. Nevertheless, Cathie Wood believes that this rotation into value stocks was both justified and healthy. First of all, there has been immense competition due to the V-shaped economic recovery. We saw businesses slash their inventories and production, only to be met with tons of pent-up consumer demand not too long after. At this time, this temporarily outperformed the growth seen in the early stages of innovation. Second of all, after the Fed's unprecedented boost to the economy, investors have been expecting a rise in both the inflation and the interest rate. Now that these events occurred, Cathie Wood believes that over the next 6 months, we will begin to see another rotation back in the growth stocks and therefore another substantial rally. The V-shaped recovery has now taken effect in the markets, as the markets are forward-looking, and we've already seen sectors such as the commodities spike up to crazy levels. Businesses are currently stocking up on their inventory in preparation to meet the new consumer demand with everyone receiving their vaccinations, which is going to lead to drastic consequences. In preparation for the recovery of our economy, businesses have caused durable and non-durable goods to spike up in value, and many are making the mistake of overstocking their inventory. This is because by the time companies are fully stocked up for our economy's newfound demand, consumers will already have satisfied their recovery spending and will level down their spending. After all, it wouldn't make sense to believe that this level of demand can be sustained for an extended period of time. Now, Cathie is not just making a prediction that growth stocks are going to explode, she is also betting big on it. Ark Invest's 6 active ETFs all have strict restrictions on the amount of cash they can hold. So in total, each one of those ETF cash positions are lower than 0.5% of the entire fund. As a result of these restrictions, Cathie Wood uses a unique strategy where instead of holding cash, she invests in cash-like stocks that are in a mature stage of growth. For example, Apple served as a cash-like stock that Ark Invest purchased while the market was highly valued. Recently, Ark Invest sold out of their entire Apple stock position in order to purchase other early-stage growth stocks and higher conviction stocks. Alongside Apple, 2 examples of cash-like stocks include Baidu and Regeneron, as Ark sold out of almost all their Baidu and Regeneron stock to purchase other high-conviction stocks. These high-conviction stocks include Teladoc, Palantir, Coinbase, and Twilio. In essence, Cathie Wood is buying the dip on growth stocks by selling cash-like stocks to purchase earlier-stage growth stocks.
So Apple was one of our cash-like instruments. It's an innovative company. It's in the innovation zone, but its characteristics are very defensive. So we will add names like Apple, the FANGs, Apple, Google, Facebook. We will add to those positions, or even reintroduce those stocks as a bull market, our portfolios were up 150%. We knew there was going to be a correction, and we just wanted to have very liquid stocks. Apple is a great company. It's going to do fine. It's a FANG. It's in a lot of portfolios. We are all about the next FANGs, but we will use the existing FANGs. If you see, they are acting very defensively. Become a defensive group. So we will fold them in, increase them when we see a move like we saw last year. When we see a decline like the one we're seeing now, we're seeing much higher returns from the other stocks in our portfolio.
Another interesting movement that Cathie recently predicted is a comeback in Bitcoin. In Ark Invest's weekly newsletter, Cathie and the Ark Invest team explained how Bitcoin is on the brink of a massive software upgrade named Taproot. Taproot is the most highly anticipated software upgrade for Bitcoin since a previous upgrade in Bitcoin named Segwit in 2017. Taproot, which started its development in January 2018, is nearing its activation. If successful, this software upgrade will improve the privacy of Bitcoin and also make transactions more efficient. In order for the Taproot upgrade to occur, 90% of the blocks used to mine Bitcoin need to signal that they need the Taproot upgrade. This milestone has already been passed, as the current signaling ratio is at roughly 98%, much higher than the 90% that is required. This new upgrade solidifies the idea that Bitcoin is continuing to innovate to pass environmental and privacy challenges. In addition, I also covered in a previous video how Cathie thinks that utility companies with excess energy will enter the Bitcoin mining industry, which may settle down the energy concerns associated with Bitcoin. These factors will ultimately lead Bitcoin's price to rise as we exit the capitulation phase.
Now, am I saying 35,000 is the low? You know, if traders, and there are a lot of speculators in Bitcoin, if they are running for the hills just because Bitcoin has broken through a moving average that is important to them, it could continue. But all of our indicators are saying this is capitulation right now.
Do you have a low point on your model for Bitcoin?
No, these metrics are more a measure. Are we in a truly capitulation phase? Okay. And it's very detailed. Yassine uses on-chain analysis, which this is the only asset where you can see exactly who's doing what, when, why, and how. And all of those metrics are saying this is a capitulation. This is as bad as it got during the coronavirus crisis.
Just like Cathie Wood, I strongly believe that our current times are a great opportunity to continue investing for the long term. Since it's also the beginning of the month, now would be a perfect time for you to join my Patreon if you haven't already. On Patreon, I share my buy and sell alerts, my brand new $25,000 portfolio, which I have a goal of reaching $100,000, my main stock portfolio, my watch list, stock market updates, and valuation spreadsheets. Our community is growing fast, and during these uncertain times, I believe it's crucial to understand the strategies necessary to maintain consistent growth in your portfolio. If you're interested in growing your portfolio alongside mine, or if you're just curious, check out my Patreon in the first link down below. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.